gap due to festivals and other commitments. So I was just wondering, has anything changed? Have you learned something over the period of time from our previous session till now?
Not from our session, but I enjoyed our session. And as you said, I have been consistent in my learning.
All right. So what have you learned over the period of time, if you don't mind sharing?
No, I have completed certain books, couple of
All
books,
right.
reading books, and I have started reading newspapers and articles, and I have started noting the important words from the newspaper, and I have started analyzing the usage of words, the particular words in that passage, what's being used there, and what is the need of that word in that context. So I have been thinking all these.
All right. Okay, that's wonderful. Have you, okay, when you said you were reading books, so I want to also understand the methodology of you reading books. Is it just when you read a book, you're reading the book in your mind? Or is it that when you say you're reading a book, you're reading it out loud? How are you reading?
Yeah, it depends. I usually read 2 or 3 times in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Morning, it is a part of learning. Reading
Mm-hmm.
a book is part of a learning, so I read it loud and underline the important words or some words which I feel intriguing. I underline those words and I write on that page itself in pencil. That would be in louder. And afterwards, after having food, I feel sullen sometimes. So that time I read as a mind reading. And before sleeping nearly like 7 o'clock, I have a habit of reading book again, that time in front of my daughters, as I want to inculcate this habit to them, so I do loud reading. And before
Nice.
going to sleep, I do a mind reading.
Wonderful. So basically, you have kind of, mixed your routine with all sorts of methodologies when it comes to reading. It is that is you are improving your concentration also, and you're also working on your fluency. That is wonderful. All right. Any books that you would recommend me as well to read?
Now I have started 3 books, and one is Little Women.
Mhm.
The next one is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. The
Mhm.
third one is Yogananda Swami Paramahamsana Yogananda, autobiography of his life. And
Okay.
before these 3 books, I have completed a Himalayan Master by autobiography again. Saurav Ganguly, 100 Centuries Not Enough, his autobiography book, and some adventurous book from Enid Blyton.
And enlightenment. All right, that's wonderful. So you have
The
a
Adventure of Goblin Dog. That was my last book.
all right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, have you seen a change when fluency, understanding, and enhanced vocabulary is concerned? Do you see a change in yourself after you've gone through these exercises of reading?
Yes, without doing any practice or any effort, I can see that improvement. I really wonder where can I get all these words and how can I frame this sentence by using these particular words. I
All
did
right.
not give any attention while reading. I was just concentrating on that context and reading, but I don't know how it happens.
I understand. Once you get into the habit of it, you start collecting words naturally as well. So it just becomes a part of your routine. Along with that, just to help you out in this regard, when you said, I don't know how to use these words on a daily, you're waiting to use these words, I'll give you a very simple solution to this. What you can do is the basic words that you use daily, try to look for the words that you've made a note of, try to look for synonyms of the same. Now, what
Mhm.
this will do is it will help you connect to the words that you're using on a daily, and these are just polished versions of those words. So
Okay.
every time you would want to use the basic version of the word, rather than using the basic version, you can use the polished version. Rather than just trying to understand their meaning and frame the sentences, you will be able to connect it and link them to the words which already exist. And in this particular manner, you will not have to put in a lot of effort for learning the word or trying to frame the sentence, but you will only just be using it as it is and in continuation. So it will make your task easier.
Okay. Shall we do like that now?
Sure. So whatever words that you've taken, I would want you, if you have a pen or paper, or even if you can type it out in the chat box, write the meaning of the word and write the word.
Shall I go and take a pen and paper?
Sure, sure. Absolutely.
How can I rephrase that I'm very sad? Means I'm petrified.
Petrified means I'm more scared than it just being sad.
Okay.
So petrified is then we okay. Do you like lizards? I know it's a very fun question. Are you scared of lizards?
No.
So for me, if I see a lizard on the ground, I freeze. I am petrified. So that
Petrified.
is exactly what the word petrified means.
Very afraid of.
Very afraid of, so much so that you can't move and you can't think in that particular state.
Okay.
That is what petrified is, extremely scared.
Scared.
Right. So if you want to say you're sad, you can use the term I am in a state of deep despair. I am extremely sad. Despair is a good word to replace the word sad with.
Okay.
Right. I am deeply perturbed. Perturbed is again a word that I'm disturbed by something. So I'm very confused. It won't exactly mean sad, but something which is troubling you, rather than using the word troubling, you can use the word perturbed. P-U-R, yeah.
What is the spelling of it?
P-U-R-T-U. I'll type it out in the chat box. I think that would be easier for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I've typed it out in the chat box. Yeah.
Perturbed.
Yes. Perturbed.
Perturbed.
Yes. That is when you're confused or you're struggling with something and you're constantly thinking about that thing. That is what the word perturbed means.
Perturbed.
Perturbed. Perturbed. Right. All right. What else? What else? What else words do you have?
We have that very happy, exuberant, or overcome.
Related. Yes, any of these terms that you can.
Ecstatic.
All right. I'll give you 5 basic words. Let's see the words that you already know if you're able to replace them. Let's do that. Let's start with emotions itself. We'll go with the excited.
Excited. Jubilant.
All right. If you want to put it in a sentence, how will you be forming the sentence?
When I came to know my daughter's mark, I was jubilant.
All right. Fair enough. If I say I am extremely confused, the key word is
Perplexed.
confused, perplexed. Very
Right.
right. If I want to make a sentence out of it,
I was perplexed. When I was shopping, I was perplexed which one to choose.
fair enough. Fair enough. If I say you want to negotiate when you're shopping, how will you use this term in a fancier manner?
Which one?
Negotiate. All right. If you go to buy vegetables and he quotes a certain price, okay, I will give you this vegetable for so many kilos for this many rupees. And you said, no, no, this is not the right price. You bring it down to something like this. You're negotiating the price. But if
Okay.
you're trying to use the word negotiate in a fancier manner, do you have any idea how will you do that?
Cut it short or
Okay, try more. If not, I'll give you the word.
okay.
Yeah.
Deal, better deal.
All right. You can also use the word haggle. Haggle also means negotiate. Haggle, haggle.
Mm.
Yeah. So that again can mean negotiating. All right. So
Okay.
we can use this and yes. What else can we use? Mm, if I say lazy, how will you replace the word lazy?
Lazy. Like couch potato
Good.
and veg out.
All right. I'll also give you a fancy word today. Lackadaisical is another word for lazy. So if I say I'm feeling very lazy today, I can say I am in a very lackadaisical mood today. I'm very lazy. I don't feel like moving. Don't feel like doing anything. So you can use this term as well. So this three terms. Just like this, the entire idea of doing this exercise is that you don't have to actually learn a word. But somewhere you already know the basic meaning of these words. All you need to do to enhance your vocabulary is to replace these words. And for this very purpose of replacement, you just need to, if you've noted down a fancy version of the word, try to find out what the basic version of those words are. This will help you connect to the basic words. And this will enhance your vocabulary without you trying to make new sentences or wait to use these words. This will help you in that regard, and gradually you will start doing it with everything. Just like you picked up, speaking with a little more fluency and the habit of reading, it will become your habit naturally. Initially, you might feel like you're trying to put in some effort, but gradually and slowly you will feel like it's naturally coming to you. So it won't feel like an activity. So you just need to get into the mode, and you'll have to push yourself initially, but then it just becomes like a natural habit. So it won't be too much of an issue later. All right. And okay. So any questions do you have for me, that there are certain areas that you were facing some problem or something in?
Is usually I ask how can I use like discourse markers naturally in my conversation. Now I'm using it deliberately, but I wanted to use it in a natural way, like however, moreover.
No, I understand. So what you need to do is just to bring it into the practice that it naturally happens. Have I discussed the mirror exercise with you?
Yes.
Yeah. So with that particular thing, that particular exercise at this particular stage in your learning process will help you, because now you've gathered the kind of information to speak and you are able to speak. So speaking, at least the speaking part should come naturally to you. But that eye contact part will or might require some effort, because it will put you in a very awkward zone initially. You can start doing that, and you can kind of have a script in your mind, like you're having a conversation with somebody who's standing in front of you. So you can have a very formal conversations. So you can use however, whatever, all of these. And then with this, I would also want you to focus on grammatical pauses, like a comma. So wherever there is a comma, technically you break a sentence, but you're not ending it. So there has to be a 2 or 3 second pause there. So you have to pay attention to pauses. The reason I put a little more emphasis on this is because if you don't give attention to pauses, the meaning of the entire sentence can change. If you read it in a single flow, it might mean something. If you read it with a break, it might mean something else. So try to do that on that basis. It will help you out a lot. So mirror exercise will not only help you use all the words that you're looking for and naturally make it a part of your spoken English, but will help you focus on grammatical pauses, and all these factors also will further help you focus as to, okay, how am I supposed to hold a conversation? Then you realize, okay, this is where I tend to lose out on the conversation. So how am I supposed to bring it back? So you can look for a new topic. You will understand a lot about yourself through mirror activities, and the way you speak a certain language and how you deal with certain situations. All of that can be reflected through your mirror activities. So this will help you out in that regard. What other questions do you have?
No, as of now, I don't have any questions, and if we can go with anything.
All right, perfect. So before we end, I would also like to ask you, are you practicing tongue twisters, or in the same light, are you not facing particularly any issues when you're trying to pronounce a word? I hope you're not facing any those sorts of issues. That
I'm
is
not practicing tongue twister, but I have a plan and have to start it soon.
all right, because if you're not particularly facing a problem in pronouncing a certain word, because of our, our local languages, our jaws move in a very certain manner. Like for me, if I am from a particular state, there is a chance, if I don't know English, I will not pronounce that word. I will try to copy it from the very local language that I do. I'll try to put emphasis on certain parts that my local language does. It's a very natural thing. And if I learn a certain language, I'll understand, okay, this is not the part I need to give emphasis on. This is the part I need to give more emphasis on. So all of this kind of caters and varies, particularly depends on tongue to tongue. So tongue twisters are like a palate cleanser because they warm up your muscles of the face. Now with this, it helps you open up your jaw for that particular language. So that is why, even if theater artists, if we talk about them, drama artists or singers, they always warm up their vocal cords, or they do A-E-I-O-U with loud voices and sounds. This is so that they are able to speak clearly. These activities help you speak clearly. That is the whole point. So you will see all these funny activities, but they actually help you out a lot. So tongue twisters is a better enhanced version for people who are just trying to speak English. That is just it. Apart from that, you're not using any fillers. Do you think that you're using fillers somewhere in your pronunciation? I hope you're not facing that issue.
I'm not facing that, but when it is asked as a topic, sometimes I stuck in between. So how can I move forward?
See, what happens is when you've just learned the language, if I ask you about you, if I ask you about your daughter, if I ask you about your routine, that is something you're doing on the daily. So you will give me point by point exactly what is happening in your house and you will not stop. But if I suddenly ask you, what do you think about the weather today? You'll say, okay, let me see whether it is raining, whether it is what, and then you'll start framing it in your mind. Because
Okay.
that is not something you've just paid attention to or you talk about every day.
Mm.
So you will have to think about that. So
Mm.
what happens here is the things that we might not know, but we are trying to speak in that language, we will have to frame it in our mind. So
Mm.
now, not only the spoken part, since we've kind of stepped up on the spoken part, we also have to cater to the needs where we are trying to frame immediately. So now we also have to work on our mental reflexes. That if somebody asks me, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. Thank you so much. This is our instant reply. Would you like some water? You say, oh, no, thank you. I've just come from home. I just want to, meet you or something. So
Okay.
these reflexes come naturally because this is something that we do. And we
How can I get to that? How can I do that?
physical
What
activity will
plans do
help you
I-
out with that because then you will be having random conversations with yourself.
Mm.
Don't just go with the planned conversation that I'm going to motivate myself today. Or, I have to talk to my daughters about something which is very important. So I'll only discuss this. I'll have to frame how do I reach out to them in a simple manner. So don't just keep topics basic like that.
Okay.
Because I would want you to step out of your comfort zone also. Maybe you can read the newspaper and take up a topic. Maybe you say, okay, I will try to be a news anchor today. And you start discussing some world issues. Someday you might want to be, okay, I want to be a motivational speaker. Imagine yourself giving a TED talk. Someday you would say, I am an English tutor. I would want to do this. So just take up different roles. Put yourself in the psychology. If I was this person, the reason this happens, how kids imitate their teachers when they are younger and they use blackboards and whiteboards. It is somewhat of a similar exercise, but in front of a mirror.
Mirror.
Try
Mm.
using different personalities on you. Your thought process will change.
Okay. So I can write some couple of questions regarding some other topic, and I can answer.
Write questions. You can refer to questions. Imagine you're doing a podcast.
Mm.
Refer to the question, give your point of view and an explanation by looking in the mirror. But don't keep looking at the paper, is what my concern is. Because
Mm.
otherwise, you will be able to not make eye contact. You are talking about something, you're looking there. That confidence factor, then we have to work externally on that. So that is something you can do. Okay, do you have any other questions?
No, no. From our next session, I would like to go with some other topic like
Done.
you said, is how is the weather and how is your
So
last.
these are random conversations, and we'll try to make it into like a podcast where I'll get your point of views on certain things. You
Yes.
also remember that in case I forget, because then we'll start talking like this. You will have to think faster.
Mm.
This will help you out in the longer run. Right?
Okay.
Right now, our time is up. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, thank you
So,
so much.
yeah, thank you. Bye bye.